And it's kind of interesting, man. It's kind of interesting how these guys are reacting to 50 clowning them. I'm not seeing nobody run to the car anymore. I'm not seeing a lot of captions. I see people embracing the jokes. It's kind of interesting. If only when I had given a joke, a clear joke. Hey, listen, why you got a headband? If you're trying to appeal to the younger kids, why you got a headband on a podcast? You know, a headband is for like basketball for the younger kids. That's what they would think, not part of fashion. Instead of kind of rolling with the punches of the joke, they did diss songs, couple car responses, and a couple monologues, and I get it. 50 Cent is not only trolling, but 50 Cent has had a hand in literally making these guys go from squatters to being homeless. And all throughout that, they're chilling. They don't give a fuck. Why? Because you get to realize that when it comes to the jungle, there could only be one line. And there's a lot of people, when you see the cheetah, okay, when you see the tiger, when you see the elephant, when you see the hippopotamus, when you see all these creatures, they might think they're the lion when they run into the gazelle, when they run into, the zebra. But when they run into the lion, they become the gazelle. And I'm gonna be honest, you know what? We'll get into it. I'm gonna skip my monologue for this. That's exactly what's happening. Maino is not all that tough talk. It's not happening anymore. He's not talking out the side of his mouth anymore. Maino is on Angela Yee's show just gossiping, talking about Kai Cenat's relationship. You know, he's getting literally a digital wedgie from 50 Cent. Has nothing to say. You know why? When the gazelle comes eye to eye with the lion, it plays its role. You know, this hip-hop culture is really, really like a food chain. And I've always, noticed that, but this is how you have to play the whole situation. Because the tough guys are only tough. No, not everyone. Most tough guys are tough with the people who ain't tough. Until they meet a other tough guy, then they become the non-tough guy. So it's like this really interesting thing, but watching 50 Cent bully the likes of Fabulous, and by the way, I think Fabulous is smart for staying out of this, and I think Fabulous is probably having some decisions he has to make right now. Fab, first of all, I never had an issue with Fab. I really think he's entertaining. I even commented on his diss song, and I said it was good. He dissed me. It was really dope. I liked it. But I will say this. Fab is literally in a glass house. If we're getting to podcast fodder back and forth and beef, I think the most amateur person would rip Fab apart. There's just so many things publicly or otherwise that you could bring into into focus that I just don't think that he would necessarily want. And also because I like him, it was a joke, so I wouldn't go that far. But you know who will go that far, right? 50 Cent. So I do think Fab is going to be thinking about. Jim Jones has been kind of like down bad for a bit. Maino doesn't really have a career. You're the only one who has something that kind of, could be tarnished by all of this spat with 50 Cent. And at some point, you might have to tell your boys, like, yo, I'm going to catch y'all later. If you with the niggas who in the car where everybody's trying to shoot them, you might be like, nah, y'all go ahead. I'm going to just follow you in my own car, okay? Because if the drive-by do happen, at least you be in your own car while you know what it is. So I do think Fab is about to hop out the whips at some point. But if you guys haven't heard the latest, 50 Cent popped online today with a new declaration. He's giving us new news. He posted a video, and it's very interesting. And we hold on, I got to make sure y'all see it. He posted a video, and I want you guys to take notice of the date. This is why people don't fuck with 50. Today is February 20th, 2026. If you're a little bit confused, the date here, it actually reads February 19th, 2026. Now, I'll read this time for you in case you're confused. It's 2:43 p.m. I want to keep this in mind and also tell you this. And this is why you don't fuck with 50 Cent. So this was posted around, right now it's 3:25 here. This is on East Coast timing. So that would have been 25. So essentially, it was posted 23 hours ago. No, not posted. Sorry. It was recorded. This is a surveillance video. So 23 hours from the time I'm doing this broadcast, this was recorded. I want to show you this here. 50 Cent posted this 15 hours ago. Why is that significant? Just a smidge over 7 hours after you're catching your L, nobody knows about, or you think nobody knows about, the worst nigga in the world has your L documented and is posting it on Instagram. You don't want to beef with that guy. You don't want to beef with that guy. 7 hours after this was recorded, 50 already was on the gram embarrassing these losers. So let's watch the video in question of what happened. Now, let's watch. By the way, W surveillance camera. I love when surveillance cameras have audio. W.
Cut the lights off.
Now, you know me, I'm going to break this down like it's going out of style. You're going to hear someone over the audio say, something, cut the lights off. As if these guys are already upset that their studio, and by the way, if you don't know, their studio is behind these walls. These two doors connect to a, studio space. The lights have been cut off. The heat have been cut off. And now they show up. The doors and the locks have been changed. This is the video of what happens when you play with 50 and 50 gets your landlord to evict you. You're a Jim? Because he don't like that. He said, fuck is you talking about?
He cut the lights off. You're not supposed to. You heard Jim? Huh? He cut the lights off.
Jim, he cut the lights off. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Jimmy. Jim, what is this? Jim. Oh, no. Yo, the memes about Jim missing leg day. Yo, Jim, bruh. The jokes write themselves. There was always, look, Jim Jones missed leg day. That's all you got to, look. Look. It's a running joke, literally. There's a running joke that Jim is built at the top. Like he's doing P90X, he's on some TRT and some steroids. But then he got them noodle legs, okay? He even did a video back in the day to respond to people who said, bro, how you so built up here, but you got noodle legs? So he did a video clapping back at people for saying he misses leg day.
I haven't talking shit about my legs yet. If you don't know anything about genetics, you probably don't think about working out. So here's a little challenge for those who say I ain't got no legs. Then I urge everyone who's talking shit to do the same thing and post it. Simple. Just do this and I'll shut up.
So Jim,
shut up. Do this and I'll.
So Jim is 50 years old, or 53, or whatever age he is. And, you know, he's doing a leg day challenge because that's been a running thing, okay? He's even posted other videos of him, you know, getting the legs right, okay? Because people really mention that he skipped leg day. Now, check this out. This is a video that came out, and this is why they said, yo, Jim, what's up?
Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it.
Now, before Jim gets in his feelings and goes off on a Maino-style rant against me, I want to point out that I don't think that Jim looks that ridiculous. Reminder, Jim Jones is 50 years old. The average human life goes to about like 70-something. He's almost there, okay? The point is, I do think Jim looks phenomenal for his age. I don't want to that's not where the joke lies for me. So I'm not saying Jim looks crazy. Obviously, Jim is even in way better shape than me at 50, but you know the internet. And that's the problem with the senior citizens. They act like they still don't get the internet. And those are the funniest people to joke at their expense because everything everybody gets is like, you know, it's like an internet kind of like, we don't need to explain it. They're like super bothered about, right? Again, I think Jim is in better shape than probably 90% of Americans, period, right? However, it's funny. You look a little built up here. His legs isn't as built. Who gives a fuck? He's bothered by it, just like how Maino is bothered by his age. And with these guys, as tough as they are, this is why we have so many people in prison. If you ever want them to crash out, point at their insecurities over and over again, right? Be like, yo, look at you, man. Like, yeah, you built, but why are you skipping leg days? That's what fucks with them. So that's why he was doing a little challenge or whatever. But now those jokes are about to come back because he's in the project hallways trying to access his studio. Everybody's ready with their, this is how Jim Jones and his homies pull up to, this is how they pull up to every studio session. Yo, where the camera at? Where the mic? Yo, hey, yo, it's cold in here. Yo, turn the space heat. Oh, they don't let you. Somebody light a blunt. Yo, we need some heat. Yo, where the hell? Yo, so that's really what's going on. The landlord done cut the light. But now the landlord done changed the locks. So Jim is channeling his inner certified gangster. And I like this for him. You know? He's channeling his inner certified gangster. Kicking in doors. You know what I mean? That gangster shit. So what he decided to do is to kick the door in that the landlord has changed the locks on. Let's see if he's successful. He's been working out for decades. Whoa there. This is crazy. You know what my problem is with this? Jim, I got your back, brother. I fuck with Jim. Even though we had a little run-in and he was like, yo, the internet shit. I think he was talking about 6ix9ine. I'm not talking about your blood affiliations. I don't care about that. I'm just talking about you as a rapper. He's still going to be mad, though. It's okay. You know I have respect for Jim, though. Because, Jim, here's the thing. It's for y'all doing that podcast. Why are you the only nigga kicking the door in? Where is Geo, dude? Maino, stop being Angela Yee's bitch for 2 seconds and come help kick the door in, nigga. Yo, Maino. Hey, Chano, could you come help kick the door in? Chano. Yo, where is Chano? Yo, Fab, put the headband on now. Now we need you to headband on. Fabulous. Put the headband on, the arm sleeve, and, yo, Tracy McGrady used to wear the leg sleeve. Put that on. Kick that door in. Where y'all at? I don't like that the senior citizens only let Jim do the dirty work. Why isn't Chano there kicking a door in too. Why not? Why is it only Jim? Huh? They told me, because I tried to do a little research on Maino. They were trying to say some stuff about his street reputation. But I didn't get into that. I said, that's whack 100 territory. I said, y'all got what work? I don't want to hear the work. Don't give me the work. Don't give me the work. But they were like, nah, you know what I mean? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got some work, but now there's some other stuff too. I'm like, what you mean other stuff? It's not Maino. He's like a slapper and he's like a robber. I'm like, what? They said Maino, if you look at his history, he used to kick in doors. I'm like, yo, this is the perfect time to tap Maino. Chano, come on. Get off of Angela Yee's like lip service podcast, nigga. It's time to do what you do best, nigga. You're in the Hall of Fame of kicking doors in Brooklyn, nigga. Come kick this door in. Chano, get over here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Respectfully, because this is a Senior Citizen podcast. Have you seen your grandpa or grandfather? Just because, you know, they never know when Alzheimer's going to kick in. So they got their medication for the week in like this little thing. That's it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. I'm pretty sure Jim Jones got like a little chart for his workout and his meds. Do y'all think Jim counted this as leg day? This is leg day right here. This is definitely leg day. What? This is leg day. Look at this. What? One more. Oh, shit. Now the tenants who actually pay their bills, the tenants who pay their bills come outside to say, what's going on? Keep in mind, the nigga who kicked them out owns the building. So the tenants who pay their bills are like, hey, are y'all okay down there? What's up? What up, blood? What up? What up, nigga? What up? What's the problem? Hey, I'm just wondering why y'all are kicking a door in. Like, what's going on? What's going on? What the fuck is... Hey, you know what's so funny? Hey, Fab, I loved your first freestyle. I need to hear your bars about this. Fab, if you don't rap about this, you not real. Fab, the last time you gave us a better freestyle, respectfully, than Uncle Murder did for the wrap-up. Give us some bars about this. This is how 2026 is started. Kicking in doors to the podcast spot. Holy. Yo, Fab, you got jokes for everything else, Fab. You know what? You know the funny thing is, Fab probably in the group chat like, damn, these niggas broke. Like, oh shit. I thought they said all I had to do was show up. You know, Fab actually rich. Right? Like, damn, these niggas broke. Oh shit. Yo, they're giving him updates like, yo, Fab, I think we kicked the door, but like, it only broke one hinge. This is a super door. It got 3 more. Yo, Fab is like, damn. You know what Fab is like? He looking at the group chat like, oh, word? Okay, all right. Holy shit, chat. Nah, we gotta break this shit down. Hold on, run it back. Said, fuck they talking about.
He cut the lights off. You're not supposed to. You heard Jim? Huh? He cut the lights off.
See, now, one thing I like about Jim, though, Jim spins everything. So Jim is going to spin this and say, hey, we all know their podcast is really called the Senior Citizen Podcast, right? They try to call it Let's Rap About It. Trust me, they won't want to rap about this one. Chano, you want to rap about this one? Chano don't want to rap about this one. Fab, you want to rap about this one? You want to rap about this one? It's okay. I think Jim could spin this into he's teaching the YNs on how to kick in doors. I think, look, this is a good tutorial. The worst part of this video is right here, Chad.
He cut the lights off. You're not supposed to. You heard Jim? Huh? He cut the lights off.
I'm going to show you the worst part of the video. The worst part of the video is the guy who's walking with the diplomats. By the way, this is a fire jacket. Please don't bring the diplomat brand into this level of brokenness and poverty. Okay? Please don't. But this jacket is fire. Okay? This jacket is fire. Man, this is bad, chat. Holy. Let me in. Now, I'm one of them type of niggas that if you got me in the crew, don't bring me to the kick the door in thing. I'll be the planner. You know, I'll make sure everything goes good. You won't have to test if you skip leg day or not by doing some shit like that. I'll figure it out. So I was thinking about it like this. I'm like, wait. Gotta be easier ways. Like, I mean, this is how you get people to call the cops on you. And even though it's your residence, if there's an order to evict you, you'll get arrested because it's technically breaking and entering. But then I thought about it. I said, gotta be many ways to skin a cat. The landlord's probably rich. He's not here all the time. They just want to get in. Like, Jim should just try to pick the lock or some shit like that. Right? But then I thought about it. I said, wait, Ak, do you know who we're dealing with here? And I'm talking to myself here. I'm like, what do you mean? So I said to myself, I said, did you forget what Kanye said to you? The nigga, he scammed Kanye for $2 million and he couldn't make a fucking PDF. How the fuck you think he gonna pick a lock? It made sense now. It made sense. Which I was even thinking, I'm like, where the fuck did the $2 million go? How can't you pay rent? How can't you pay rent? This is a good door. I got to figure out what door this is. Are these Timberlands? I can't see what type of shoes this is. Hey, let me tell you this, man. The moment I heard that Jim Jones finessed Kanye for $2 million and Kanye asked him to make a PDF and he told Kanye, I don't know how. Well, whoop-de-doo, right?
What's up? What happened?
Damn. Why are you so aggressive?
Yeah, I'm good.
Now, see right here? If I'm this woman, I go in and lock my door and I call the cops. This violent-looking thug, respectfully, is trying to force himself into another adjacent suite or whatever or loft, and now he's walking up to me. I'm good.
No, it's mine.
So I guess he says, no, it's mine. And I guess she's looking like, so why are you kicking the door in? It's now he does what every nigga does, right? It's like the nigga it's like the niggas on 63rd or the niggas in O Block. Nigga, this is our shit. Brother, you don't own O Block. We know the company who owns it. You're renting. Stop it. It's like a nigga say, yo, I can't cut in my block. You don't even own the house on the block. You're renting. Calm it down. Relax. So he tells her, nah, this is my property, right? Keep in mind the whole building's owned by one person. Well, okay.
All right.
The white person's smart. One thing about white people, you got to give them credit, man. They know about self-survival. Angry Negro walking down, he got braids, and he's 55 years old and look like he might be off that stuff. I'm going to go back in here with my phone in hand, and I'm ready to call police. Okay, so she ducks back in. She got her phone in hand. I'm pretty sure she's recording. By the way, I just want to point out, this goddamn jacket looks fire. Hey, this jacket looks fire. Hey, Cameron. Cam, could somebody clip this? Cam, I need that jacket. Cam, yo, Cam owns Diplomats, right? Yo, Cam, this jacket is fire. Well, they probably all own it, I hope. Well, I don't know. Cam seems like the boss. Now, I will give Jim a little bit of credit. This first door wasn't going, okay? It's one of those, like, I was telling someone that, you know, I replaced one of my doors and it cost 20 grand and they're like, how does it? Yo, they got the shit that's like, it's fiberglass, is this, is that, which means it's basically kick proof. Like, you got to literally knock a fucking, you can't get through it. That's basically what that usually means. Now, it looks like this door was whatever that is. Or it's probably just solid metal. It's probably just metal. Because this is like a, you know, industrial space. This is how industrial spaces look in New York City. Very narrow hallway This reminds me of the place I used to record music in that 6ix9ine's producer was at. Like, it's narrow hallways, and you go in here, there's a whole studio. So now he goes to the second door, and he's going to try his kick in there. Okay. One more time. Come on. There we go. Damn! Jim has kicked the door off the hinges. Jim, I'm with you. Fuck what these niggas saying. You ain't skip no leg day. This door was just unpenetrable, this first one. This first door was unpenetrable, but he kicked the second one straight off the hinges. Holy. I ain't gonna lie, Jim gonna need some Bengay after that. Yo, Jim, I know a nice little spa you could go to. You know, all the you're 50. You're definitely sore after that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, a nigga 50. Yo, the older you get, once you're in your 30s, shit you used to do. Like, I would go to the movie theaters when I was like 17, and like, you see the little ropes, you just like fucking hop over it. Like, nigga, you're trying all this shit. You think you're Jackie Chan, my nigga. You jump off some shit, nigga, you feel no pain. Nigga, when you hit 30, my nigga, you go like this and you kind of grab your ankle a little bit. You kind of walk it off, but the next day you in pain, nigga. Straight up pain. And that's when you're in your 30s. Jim is 50. This type of shit right here, this nigga need an ice bath. He needs some massages. He needs some Bengay. This nigga needs some icy hot. And he needs at least he needs some Robitussin. At least. Okay. Now, 50 also posts the company that says they did put a notice that Jim Jones was evicted. And the eviction notice actually says this. It's from IFC Management LLC to Joseph Jones. So it appears that this spot is completely in Jim Jones's name, right? It's not even in the company that owns the podcast name. It's just Jim's name. So it says here he's evicted from two suites, which is suite 202 and 204. So that's kind of what it is. It's 202 and 204. So 202, I would imagine, is the first door, then 204 is the second door, and they probably gutted inside and combined both suites, right? Okay, great. And look like they have another spot on 32nd Street and another spot. Like, look like it's kind of like, oh, no, it's posted at this. I would imagine this is a spot, though. Anyway, we'll keep reading. Lease agreement dated December 17th, 2025 between Sandy Sun, Han Dynasty Bronx, Three Sons Holding, Sengara LLC, and Joseph Jones, the tenant, concerning the premises at 780, 133rd, whatever, 79, okay, as depicted on the colored portions of the premises diagrammed to the attached lease. The tenant was served with a 15-day notice of default, dated January 5th, 2026, which expired on January 22nd, 2026, okay? A 5-day notice of termination dated February 10th, which also expired on February 17th. The tenant's tenancy at the premise has been terminated. That pursuant to landlord's rights on the lease, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. The landlord has elected to re-enter and take possession of the premise and peaceably recover possessions of the premise. The tenant may make arrangements with the landlord to coordinate the retrieval of the tenant's property, so like cameras and shit like that, from the premise. And the tenant that should tenant attempt to enter the premise, change the locks, or seek to retrieve his property, or cause any third party to do so without the landlord's express permission, the landlord reserves the right to prosecute at the same as trespass and pursue all available remedies. They have a way how they could be reached, and they said that this notice is intended and does not set forth all the rights, claims, and second, third. Now, unfortunately, for Geodude, Maino, Jim Jones, and the rest of them, it appears that their legal remedies, or their legal options are kind of limited. And yet again, I will come in with another option. By the way, I did tell you guys before that I am offering a studio space free of charge to the Senior Citizen podcast. I just need a strong apology. And if they give me a strong apology, they could use my I'm not even using it. And I do pay every month. We can't get evicted, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a little bit embarrassing. So I have a podcast space. I think I used to let Troy Ave record out of it, but Troy Ave, I think he's on the West Coast now. It's there. Like, nobody records out of it. They take money from you every month. It's okay. We write it off. If the Senior Citizens just don't have enough bread to like pay for like a spot to record a podcast, but they want to do the yapping, y'all can use my spot. Really nice location, prime location. Trust me, that's why I've kept it. You guys can record free of charge, but I need an apology from each and every one of y'all, right? Including you, Fab. And you can use it free of charge. It's okay, all right? We could all be friends. But if that's not the case, I would implore Jim Jones to pay his bills, right? You got to pay your bills if you're going to be that guy to pop all this shit and this and third. And here's the thing. This does fall badly and look and reflect negatively on everybody associated with the podcast. You guys are 50 years old getting evicted. That's disgusting and sad. You guys have all had supposedly prosperous careers in whatever you've done. To get evicted at 50 years old is fucking pathetic. Fab, you rap for 30 years. If you can't pay your fucking rent, that's disgusting. Jim Jones, you gangbanged and did a whole bunch of bullshit for like 50 years. If you can't pay your rent, that's disgusting. Maino, you done robbed the entire Brooklyn niggas and pulled out guns on them. If you didn't rob enough money to pay your fucking rent, that's disgusting. I'm sorry to tell y'all, man. Kicking indoors at 50 years old is just not the wave. And maybe I got to be the pussy civilian to kind of like, you know, bring the youth that's watching y'all, because y'all previously says y'all were bodega boys, lobby boys, now podcast boys, or as 50 calls y'all, squatters. I'll lead the audience y'all are trying to appeal to. Hey, YNs of the world, never be this. When you're 50, you should be kicked back, feet up, living a luxurious life with bitches galore, kids that you're taking care of, and many things to show. Not being kicking down a door to get in to start gossiping. That's just not the way to move. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Okay? So Geodude, okay? Get off Angela Yee's podcast. All she's talking about is pussy and menstrual cycles. Go get a job and actually pay the bill. Or remember that goddamn caravan you tried to like record a video to me in? How about you tell all of them you could be in the driver's seat, since you're the leader of the podcast, you know, when it comes to vocally, and then maybe Jim could be in the other seat, and maybe Fab with his mink coat could be in the back passenger seat, and have Dave East over there, and y'all record the "We Can't Afford the Spot, We're in the Car" podcast. Let's not rap about it. Let's carpool about it. Since y'all from motherfucking New York City, maybe this will be a good podcast title. Fuck, let's rap about it. I think it should be let's carpool about it. But if you don't want to do that, you know when listen, I think this happens in New York, but it happens in Jersey. To beat traffic in the morning, they create a special lane. And it says you got to have at least 3 people in the car to be able to drive in this lane. That lane is called the HOV lane. Yeah, I love Jay-Z. The Hove lane. Maybe I could say the whole podcast. Y'all are carpooling like a motherfucker. All I'm trying to say, I've never seen more of a joke of a podcast where they have to capitulate and they have to adhere to the bullying from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. The nigga, people are trying to like, oh, Fifth, you got to respond on the mic. For what? You want to make up senseless rhymes? He wants to post your eviction notice. You want to kind of like play around like, oh yeah, we got you on this one, Curtis. Good job. You're kicking indoors. Your key no longer works. I think I like that, chat. The Hove Lane boys. So from the Bodega boys to the Lobby boys to the Pod boys to now the Hove Lane boys, because y'all can't afford a spot to record a podcast in. Ain't that goddamn interesting? Maino, you were quick to jump out to respond to me. Well, if maybe you did that because of clout or whatever, there's somebody with infinite more clout and with a bigger name that's been calling. He's not calling just one person out. Maino is a nigga in the group, and this is why I've looked at Maino very differently recently. Maino is a nigga in the group that he's supposed to be the tough guy till a real tough guy comes up. Maino's been acting for the longest that 50's not talking to him. 50's only talking to Jim Jones. No, nigga. He's talking to all four y'all niggas. He's talking to all four y'all niggas. He's not talking to one. He's not talking to two. He ain't talking to three. He ain't Birdman or three of y'all. He ain't talking to all four y'all. So, Maino, I see you went on Vlad and you were like, yeah, me and Fifth, we're kind of cool. We're just, he called us the Squatter Boys. We thought that was a good name, so we kept the name. You didn't think it was a good name. You had no option. He's bullying you. Let me give you the real behind this, Chano, Jim Jones. And again, I really have no problem with you guys, but I got to give y'all the real because y'all felt the need to try to give me the real about maybe my lack of knowledge on whatever y'all claim I was trying to say, even though it was a joke. Let me give y'all the real on it. This is how dirty 50 plays. 50 knows you niggas is broke as shit. So 50 is now enticed the goddamn owner of the property because you guys are lacking in rent. And here's I'm going to be also honest. I don't think y'all getting evicted. This is a self-termination, and if anybody knows New York City law, that's not how it works. New York City law, especially Mandami's in now, technically, this won't be trespass. You have a lease to be there, even if you haven't paid. Only a court could force them out. We have not seen a court order. This notice is sent by the landlord. So the way how it works, only a court could do it, and a court is always on the side of the tenant, especially in New York City. New York City has housing problems. They're not going to side with landlords. They'll figure out a way to keep the tenant there because they don't want to have a homelessness problem. So in reality, this notice is cool and cute. And yes, they probably will be able to bill Jim for kicking in the door. That is damages. But is Jim actually evicted? Actually, no. But let me get back to my point. My point is this, and this is how 50 is playing the game with y'all. And he's really bullying y'all because he knows y'all can't fuck with him. He's bullying y'all because he's enticing your landlord to do these things. If the landlord really, none of this said we went to court. The nigga just said he sent you notices, you're ignoring it, and he's kicking you out. You know why he's doing that? Because 50, I'm telling you this is a fact. This is how 50 moves. He's encouraging the landlord that he wants the spot, or maybe he's promised or paid the landlord some money to say, hey, I want that location. If they aren't up to speed, get them out of there. I'll be the new tenant. We've seen how petty 50 gets. So your landlord is bullying you on behalf of 50 Cent. All the tough talk y'all got, y'all ain't pulling up on the landlord. The landlord probably don't even come there. So y'all probably ain't going to see him. Y'all can't say nothing to 50 because 50 might buy your masters and probably just really put y'all back in poverty. Can't do nothing to 50. So essentially, y'all are just there. And the saddest part about all this is that these guys operated under this veil of we're gangsters, niggas don't play with us. But I get to realize they're saying only non-gangsters play with us. Because if you're 50 Cent, you do what you want. You go to Jim Jones' Instagram, and instead of Jim Jones responding to it, Jim Jones recorded and posted a response because somebody must be advising him and say, hey, don't look mad. This is the internet. Act like you're embracing it, right? Remember when, 50 said they had no heat and whatever, he tried to lean into the joke. He's like, yo, hey, I'm going to now.
Jones improvement.
I'm going to, I'm a construction worker now, right? He's trying to, own the joke.
Sometimes you got to take matters in your own hands. At this point, I'm using everything as a learning experience in my life.
Okay, so he's like, hey, I'm going to be doing things to da-da-da-da.
Plus a couple clients said they needed a green screen, so here we are, making a green screen.
So, okay, we need a green screen. I'm putting in the work, okay? Then we see another video right? We see another video. He's essentially...
I need the brown pair for...
Okay. There's another video, maybe he deleted it, where he's like screwing stuff in, and he's basically showing that, hey, look.
All right. I was joking. Y'all thought I was playing games about this construction we building.
So, which, by the way, ironically, how the hell are we hearing that fucking infamous ding, that beep?
Right now.
He's trying to play into the joke, right? 50 calls them a squatter rather than answer like, oh, no, you're just promoting us, which is ironic. Why didn't Maino not? You see, Chad, I want to make this abundantly clear. I don't have a problem with Jim Jones. I actually, bro, we all grew up liking the Diplomats. Like, why the fuck would I have a problem with Jim Jones? I don't have a problem with Maino. But I don't respect them for how, when they felt away, they feel they could deal with me, and then they not having the same energy with the nigga that got the big dog energy for them. To me, it tells me everything I needed to know about them. If Maino did the same treatment to me as he did to 50, I'd be like, yo, Maino that guy. But I realized Maino ain't on shit. Maino is like a pick and choose nigga. Like, Maino ain't like that. Respectfully. And when I mean by, of course, he's like a killer or whatever. What I'm saying is that he's like every one of us. Like, I'll tell you the truth. I'll pick and choose. Like, it's like boxing, right? Me boxing, I'm like, y'all knocked that nigga out in the first round. I'm taking that. Now, if they told me to box, I don't know. I like using Casanova for whatever reason. Me versus Casanova or Blueface, I'm good. You got it, gang. I'm picking and choosing. So I'll admit I pick and choose. I just want Maino to admit he picks and chooses. Because he's getting a digital wedgie from 50 and he's quiet as fuck. And Jim Jones as well. Jim Jones had words to me at a YoungBoy concert about what perceivably either Whack 100 or 6ix9ine was saying about him and his gang online. Well, forget that. What do you have in terms of energy for 50 Cent with him evicting you and forcing you to kick the door down? That's it. That's my issue, okay? So just to let y'all know, and I hope you guys know, like, when I was talking about their podcast, I was actually I was kind of like happy that there's new I love when new podcasts are coming in. I just talked about Uncle Murda and Tony Ayo. I gave them a little criticism. I said, yo, maybe I need a third person to kind of, because y'all are good, but I don't know if y'all know how to structure the shit yet as an A-mic, right? So y'all might need a host or like a middle person, like it's a debate, right? I don't know if they've responded, but hopefully if they see it, they take it well. These little tough niggas over here, Geodude and Jim Jones, the P90X, and Fat was kind of cool about it because, he's just kind of like always chill back. They're over here like extra tough. Except when 50 is bullying them and kicking them out. So my thing is, when are they going to get the same energy with 50? And I'm not going to let it go. Y'all niggas getting punked right now. Maino, put the drill down. Put the miter saw down. Okay? When are you going to get at 50 like how he's getting at you? And no, just to let you know, and people need to say to Maino, he's not only getting at Jim, he's getting at you, and Jim. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So let's go to what Jim Jones has posted in response. Here we go. Now, before we even play it, he says, Kung Fu Jim is what they call him, LOL. I need you good movie to watch on this big screen. We got cable. Oh, here's the cope. Now you've seen me kicking a door. Let's not talk about the reason I'm kicking the door, which I can't pay my bills. Maybe I'm insolvent or I'm cheap or I'm just, I just don't handle my business. Let's change the topic to this shows my Kung Fu skills. What? Who's buying this? But okay, let's listen. Oh, wow. I missed that. Yo, did 50 turn this nigga into a Shaolin monk, bro? This nigga's doing like some Jet Li, like, yo, what type of, like, Memoirs of a Geisha, like, what type of Bruce Leroy shit is this? I'll give it to Jim. While he's getting bullied by 50 Cent, he's a good sport. Like, you can tell 50's not laughing with them. They're trying to laugh with him. They're trying to laugh with 50. 50's like stuffing them into lockers, and they're in the locker like, I don't think 50's laughing with y'all, okay? Okay. Now, 50 Cent has posted again. Yeah. Yo, 50 on these niggas' ass like back pockets. 50 says, yo, Sam is my partner. I own the joint. Now you're going to fix every door you kick, and I'm going to kick your ass, Jimmy. Yo, I'm done. Yo, Jim. You got to stop laughing. Yo, Jim, let me tell you this. When Jim was mad at me for something 6ix9ine or somebody, like whoever I posted, Jim was talking like he was the big. Yo, Jim said to me, niggas get hurt fucking with me. Jim, this not the energy you giving right now, Jim. Jim, I'm disappointed. Jim, I don't got a problem with you, but I'm going to hold you to exactly what you said to me face to face. You said niggas get hurt when they play with you. This nigga is he's not joking with you no more, Jim. He says, fix the door, he's going to kick your ass. There's no joking about that. Jim, you said niggas get hurt playing with you. Jim Jones, Jimmy, you told me to my face, niggas get hurt playing with you. 50 Cent has given you an ultimatum. You need to head to Home Depot. You need to get a door frame, a door jamb. You need to change the locks. You need to get a new door. And matter of fact, you might want to put like some love into it. And you need to get a goddamn a laser level. Make sure you get a level, and also get a goddamn drill and get to work. Jimmy, he's saying he's going to whip your ass. Geodude. Maino. Chano. Hey. Oh, he's talking to you too. I know your name ain't mentioned. You think you got out of it. No. You're going to have to hold the door jam up while he drills it in. Yes, that's how it works. Oh, yeah. So, 50 has told the senior citizen, if y'all don't get their door installed, you're getting beat up. This is classic bullying. And this is why 50 is greatest. Jim. Hey, Jim. Chano. 50 has said he's going to beat y'all up. I ain't say it. It says it right here. He posted your landlord. Yo, 50's greatest. 50 is the fucking greatest, bro. Yo, let me tell you this. You know why we appreciate 50? You know why we appreciate 50? We appreciate 50 because sometimes niggas talk it, but he always delivers, right? So I want to give y'all like some realistic shit. And this is why I say, I know I'm petty, but 50 is a different level. Remember when me and Blueface was going into it? I really had somebody go look into his house thing, right? It was like 1 point, like, was it 2 million or whatever? And I was like, I really knew it was a dump. And it was about to be at auction. But I was really like, shit, I just like, that's hip hop history, my nigga. Just like buying a nigga who's dissing you's house. Like, yo, that's crazy. And so there was a supposed auction, and then it was a weird thing with how the house was going through foreclosure, because they would submit something to the bank and the bank would put it, like, it was something weird. And honestly, like, bro, I didn't really dislike Blueface that much. The point what I'm trying to say is that, like, bro, if I'm impulsive, right? So I would have bought it right away. But after I realized it was going to drag on for months and maybe go to another year, bro, after that, I think me and Blueface, we ain't really squashed on it. But it was just kind of like, we're not beefing, right? Like, we're really not, we don't care that much, right? I just said, fuck it, right? I'll give you another instance. After I got popular from, I went to Rutgers University, I got popular. There was this one person who was at Rutgers University that used to be really friendly with me, came to all my parties. Like, I just remember throwing mad parties. She was always there. And shit, like, we give her free liquor. We're giving her free entertainment. She was kind of like known to us, so we would let her in for free, blah, blah. I used to be throwing parties. And, I just, I always thought I had a decent relationship with her. Obviously, after I graduated from Rutgers or whatever, things get a little bit, because I now start getting popular online. And one of the things that kind of like, and I'll be honest, it did affect me, was that the people who I used to be at college with, and we all used to be at the same cafeterias where, my last couple of years, I used to be jacking for swipes. I used to be friends with like the sophomores because they had mad swipes. Like, hey, you swipe us in, because I ain't had a meal plan. When they saw me like start succeeding online, some were like, oh, I know him. He's cool. Like, yo, that's Ak. Like, whatever. But some of them who I knew, they were like, wait, why y'all on his dick? Like, yo, what the fuck? And they would come, like, I started seeing like certain people who I was cool with, like, say really negative things about me. And I used to be really friends with them. It bothered me a bit. And there was one particular girl, I remembered her and I said, yo, this bitch, she been going crazy. It was on Twitter like back then. And I remember I made sure, I forgot, like one day I went down like a rabbit hole and I figured out everything about her. And I said, yo, I'm starting to get money now. And I said, yo, this bitch she lives somewhere near Atlantic City, like in like a 2-family house. And I said, I'm going to buy the fucking house and kick her out. I was so upset. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, and yes, we're all human. So because I was always nice to this girl. She would just hated me on, she would tweet out, like there's this, there's this like flyer that says like I was stealing a laptop. I've never sold a laptop. But that was really because a long story, but we went into some like apartment trying to sell tickets for a party we were doing, and we walked in on somebody having sex, and they said, how'd y'all get in there? So they said we were trespassing. Whatever, fuck it. The point is this. It was someone who I knew from before I got popular that was just hate, like they were the biggest hater of me, and we used to be friends. So I'm like, yo, I had it like saved in a browser thing. Yo, this is the milestone. You're going to buy the house her and her family lives in, and you got to evict her just to teach her a fucking lesson. As years passed and whatever, I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like lost interest in even doing that. And, from time to time, I like try to Google her name. I just don't have like 3 hours. I mean, I do have it, but there's no motivation in me to put 3 hours into finding every new thing about where she lives at now to fucking torture this bitch, right? So I've kind of let it go. And that's what, I only say that to say that's the difference between me and Fifth. Because I've been the person where I'm petty and I'm about to do some shit, but if I can't do it in the moment, over time, I kind of like, yo, all right, fuck it. It's like 2 years later. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm not even that mad anymore. Fifth is the only nigga I know that when you cross him, if it takes 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 2.5 years, he still delivers. He doesn't give a fuck. That's why I say this guy's the GOAT. Because have you been mad at somebody before and you're like, you know what, man? Yeah, this nigga is a hoe, but like, yo, bro, like, I forgot why we even got into it in the first place. You just kind of let it go, or you just don't have any more motivation. Fifth never fucking forgets. This guy's a psychopath, if you ask me. A classic psychopath. 50, who's not like, he's doing really good. I'm pretty sure this guy is probably dealing with a lot of tenants that's problematic. I wouldn't be surprised if 50 gets with him and say, hey, there's many holding companies that probably own that building. Hey, I'll put in 500,000 or I'll put in $1 million. Just make me one of the co-owners of this building. And 50's whole goal is not to make money off real estate. It's to fuck with 4 niggas that's on a podcast that literally, if they just moved out and went to somewhere else, 50 can't affect him anymore. But he knows that they're pot committed and he wants to get the win saying, I ran you out the building and I evicted you. Keep in mind, remember when it was brought up, they said Jim Jones owed like $200,000 in back rent. 50 the type of nigga to invest $1 million? What? Just to embarrass you over the $200,000 you owed. This nigga's undefeated. Anyway, so he says, Sam is my partner. So this is Sam. I own the joint. Now you're going to fix every door you kick, or I'm kicking your ass, Jimmy, by Monday. You're destroying my property. He posted this with Sam. And then, there's more. Oh, shit. There's more footage? Shout out to the cameras in here. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, at least the first couple kicks, he's going, yeah. Okay, Oh, they kicked mad doors open. What the fuck? Nah, this is crazy. How many doors did he kick open? Bang. I said, fuck you talking about? Oh, so it's 3 doors. Because you hear the conversation that leads to the other camera. He said he cut the lights off. So I guess the guy who said they cut the lights off is after they kicked the first door open. And he said, he cut the lights off. So there's no lights in there. And there's 2 more doors. I guess there's separate studios, I guess. I don't know. So he's trying to kick the other door.
He cut the lights off.
He cut the lights off. Oh, my God.
What's up? What happened? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine.
Oh, wow. Here's another video.
You heard Jim? Huh? He cut the lights off.
Oh, wow.
What's up? What happened? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine. My property.
Oh, wow.
All right?
Damn, they got every angle. Now, again, just being honest here, legally, this will not be considered breaking and entering. If there was a court order that barred him from the premise, that said he had no legal obligation or reason to be there, it would be considered trespassing, okay? It would be considered trespassing. Just to let you know, this is some legal rules here. If you've established residence, and this is in most states or cities, you don't even need a lease. So if you've been at a place, mostly in most places or in most states, for more than 30 days, you've established residence. I don't know if you guys know that. So, I used to, invite chicks over and you let them stay for a while. Then after they've stayed consecutively 30 days, when they start acting up, you call the cops. If they tell the cops, I've been here for 2 months, the cop could no longer remove them at your request. The cop will then will tell you, you need to go to the courts. Why? She's established residence. If you guys remember the Christian Rock situation. And again, this is like a really standard law across the land. Christian Rock, Whack 100, cops. Whack was trying to get the cops to evict Christian Rock. And what a lot of women know is that if you have been established as you've been living somewhere, the cop can't kick you out. So Whack 100 starts to say, hey, my name or my company's on this house, so I'm a owner of this house, so I have authority to tell you, the cops, to evict or get her out of here, right? Because that's how it works. You can get someone out of your property because, they'll get trespassed, right? You're trespassing. You have to leave. However, if they're a residence too, they can't get trespassed.
Pull it up. Was you not arrested? Here goes the address.
I was not arrested.
So they're arguing.
How did I get in my house? I didn't break in, right?
How was this?
So, and trust me, I know all the way too well about this. The cops are caught in between a rock and a hard place because they deal with this a lot. We can't do anything to the girl if she didn't break in, which means she broke a lock and she's not on a lease. If you're on a lease, you could break your windows and go in your house. If you're not on a lease, if you break a window and enter a property without explicit permission from the owners or the rented owners, that's burglary, or that's breaking and entering. If you steal something, especially. So because she was let into the house, the cops are saying, hey, if she's a guest that's overstaying, we can't arrest her for being here. However, if you're the owner, we could force her to leave if you're telling us you want to trespass her. Now, her response is, hey, I live here. The cops are going to say, what do you mean you live here? Hey, I've been here for the last 4 months. I live here with my boyfriend, Blueface. They're then going to say, what? You've been here for 4 months. They could no longer trespass that person because that person is a established resident. So that's the conversation kind of happening.
Go home. I paid $1.4 million for
So Whack is trying to say I paid for it. It doesn't matter. Listen, trust me, and all the fellas here, or even the ladies, if got something going on, you never let nobody stay 30 days in a row consecutively at your house. Have them come for a week, then have them leave. Have them come for a few days. No more than 30 days. And also, here's the thing too. Never let them get mail at your house. These are things that cops will look at to say, hey, it looks like this person, if they're getting mail here, that this person lives here. And at any point they feel this person has stayed there for over 30 days, because that's what it would mean if you were getting a bill there, they could no longer operate as if you are an intruder or an unwanted guest. They have to act like you are a resident, and all evictions lie with the courts.
his house.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm not trying to argue with you.
Didn't I just talk to you the other day and tell you not to come to my home?
You did not know.
I didn't talk to you the other day?
No, you threatened.
I threatened you?
No, we're not doing
You
that.
wasn't on the... No, she was
They must have cleared the door.
She was complicit.
So essentially, she tells the cops, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I live here.
After you
You know what I'm
leave,
saying?
you don't deal with me. What do you have? They can go, look, they must have cleared the shit out. My mail usually be in that drawer. No, they cleared.
Now, Whack was smart because she tells the cops, I live here and I have clothes upstairs in drawers. And they eventually go upstairs and they can't find none of her clothes in any of the drawers, which that becomes a problem because her story is falling flat. Look, they're going to go upstairs. Look.
No.
Hey, can I talk to her?
We don't deal with her no more. She's crazy.
After
You know what
you
I'm saying? No, she
They must have cleared the drawer.
was complicit. If you want to call, coming over here throughout the day.
Here we go.
Look at my.
She She lived in Hollywood.
So she never lived.
No, she don't live here.
So he's arguing with the cops. She doesn't live here. By the way, this is the same for residential or commercial. In most places, when it comes to law about residency and property law, it's, or a property court or whatever, it's going to lie in the favor of a tenant or a resident. Why? Every city has an incentive not to put people out on the street. So if you're saying, I've been staying at Akademiks' house for two months, yes, he owns the house, but I've been staying here. They're going to say, well, Akademiks, even though it's your house, she's established residence here. That's how squatters, that's literally why squatters exist. So in Detroit, what happens is people break into houses that are, vacant or whatever. They're on the market and they stay there. And once they could prove they're there for more than 30 days, okay, and there isn't sign of forced entry, and even if there is, as long as they've established residence, it now becomes a situation only the courts could kick them out. So that's why 50 keeps calling these guys squatters, because, they've been there for a while. And once you sign a lease, you got to go through the courts to kick somebody out. So, but let me just kind of show this Christian Rock situation real quick. So he's saying, Wack is saying, nah, she don't live here. She's saying, I've been living here. He's saying, yo, you have another residence. She says, no, I don't. And then she later says, yo, I got clothes upstairs. And the cop says, all right, show me where.
She does not live here. She said, if you come by every day, I got people to come by.
Where is
Show
all
me,
your
yeah,
stuff?
show me.
You're not her man.
Now, Wack is really smart. And this is why people think Wack is the feds, which I don't think so. But I see why they say that, because Wack knows the law and he's smart enough to be ahead of it. He knew that he probably discarded any of her letters, mail, any bills that came there, so she has no proof. If her license doesn't say that property, the only thing she has is my belongings are here, and I could show you that I've been here, right? Otherwise, it's a he said, she said thing, and Wack has some legal authority to the property. So she's like, oh, my clothes are upstairs. She's going upstairs. Wack's so smart. Wack moved the clothes. Look.
Is that right? You're not her man.
No, I manage who she's saying manages her. Which that's a lesson.
So they're looking for her clothes
I
now.
mean, that's a lesson. It's a lesson because I'm putting pressure on y'all, bro. For what I know it's right, bro.
Which, by the way, Blueface is now selling this crib. Why have white carpet if the shit is like green? Because everybody's walking with their shoes.
Feel sorry, my nigga. What are y'all talking about? This is where I stay, bro.
So she's like, this is my room, right? Ironic, there was a bunk bed. Yo, Blueface really got him like that, huh? Yo, Blueface and Youngboy really, like, they be on some shit. So they're asking her, where are your stuff that shows that you've been here for 30 days?
They cleaned it out. What are you talking about?
Wack is smart as fuck. He fucking threw that shit out.
They cleaned it out.
They go in the closet, there's nothing there.
This is my wings, bro. They cleaned my shit out. You want me to go show you fucking clothes in the fucking washer? Like, they probably didn't clean the washer out? What you mean?
You have a drawer?
The cops are asking, you got a drawer or something?
When you live in a place, you have a drawer.
I have
So the cops is basically saying, hey, if you really lived here, you'd have a drawer, you'd have pictures on the wall. Like, you have nothing. What's up?
everything, bro.
makeup
Okay, right now I'm
So where's your makeup?
up right now, bro. I don't know what I look crazy. I don't care.
but
I'm saying like it looks like I don't live here and
Wack undefeated, man. Yo, Wack is undefeated.
like what the fuck? Like what? That's what
When
it
was
is.
the last time you were here? When was the last time you slept here?
Last night.
What time did
So between last night and today, they got all their shit out.
you get here last night?
Jay, when did I sit there? 2 days ago.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
There's no forced entry. Where's the forced entry? How?
So they eventually realized, because Wack wants her arrested, I think, or there's a possibility she could be arrested. If they say they don't want you here, you can't explicitly show how you were invited here. Maybe you shouldn't be here, and that's an arrestable offense if you're in a property with no invite, right? There's no forced entry, which means she kicked the door in or whatever, so they're not going to arrest her. But because she can't show that she lives there, they could trespass her, and I think that's what probably happens. They force her to leave.
I got 2-3 houses. What do that mean?
Okay. Okay. So, I believe they force her to leave. So anyway, I only bring that up to kind of come back to this Jim Jones thing. Jim Jones is still going to be at the property, right? Now, the interesting part about all of this is that 50 had said Jim Jones had paid the bill. Remember, like, there was an issue that they didn't pay rent? 50 Cent Jim Jones rent. There was this idea that, look, remember when
want to rent it? And I said, okay, fine, right? He's been saying this for since October. And so he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign
That's Sam talking to 50.
lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want 6 months of build out and ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not.
Now, interesting. It says half the content he's created. If you want to buy that too, I'll sell you the company. Now, that's interesting because if you're the just landlord, how could you have ownership of their company? That's like the interesting part of it all, right?
Not business. He's insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so
now this is why you shouldn't fuck with 50. Now, in hindsight, I'm realizing this conversation, 50 went in as a big dog. Hey, I see like you own some of these properties. Yo, I kind of want to be an investor. Who's not going to take on another investor that has a name like 50 Cent that could probably do a lot, right? They're like, hey, and he probably tells them the truth. Like, hey, listen, these guys, they're bums. Like, I want to get them out of here. And I want this to be like a premier whatever type of space. 50's probably, doing this thing too. Like kind of gassing it up. And they're like, all right, bet, we want you to be a part of it. And 50's like, all right, how much money will we need? So they probably tell 50 a price. And while trying to convince 50 that it's worth that or he should pay that to become a part owner, they're like throwing in things. Hey, not only will kick these bum ass niggas out, like we kind of own their shit. So like I'll sell you half their company, that's like diabolical. If at this point, and this was months ago, so this was posted like back in like December. If I was Jim Jones back then, I would have just left. Well, I think they did leave 50 alone. No, actually, they dissed them on a freestyle, and they were like, "Oh, 50, are you gonna rap back?" Yeah, all right, nigga, I'm not rapping back, nigga. You're homeless now, nigga. You're homeless.
What I'm saying is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes. I'm gonna say it in a short way, at least 80,000, if not 180,000. The monthly rent on the old lease, not this one.
Okay. All right. So that happened, but it was announced that like it supposedly was paid because 50 came out later and he was like, hey, thanks to me, these niggas have paid their rent. Let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, he came out and said they paid their rent. It was obviously like months ago. Okay, here we go. So 50 Cent claims Jim Jones sent in $200,000, which I'm impressed. I didn't know Jim Jones had $200K. After accusing the podcast crew of being squatters and owing $250,000 in back rent. So 50 posted, so Jim wired the $200K over. Okay, cool. He may turn out to be a good tenant after all. Sam, and he keeps saying that name, so we know he's not bluffing. That's one thing I like about 50. He's not bluffing. Samuel, if you need me to make them pay, just give me a ring. I'm right here. Okay? So 50 supposedly made them pay. Now, let me tell you this, and this is why, like, I keep saying you don't fuck with a mogul like 50. Y'all made a corny diss song. He forced you to pay damn near $250,000. Who's winning now? Y'all tell me, because there's a bunch of people who like they're trying to like, oh, 50, you gotta rap. Who's winning? They make a corny diss song. 50 is forcing them to pay $250,000, and they still get their heat turn off, light turn off, and they got to kick the door in. Who won? Who won? Who won? That's the exact thing I'm talking about. So, we just posted, or I just posted right now as I was talking. Jim Jones has responded again on a story. He says, "Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out what I need to promo while I got the spotlight again. Got it. IFC news coming soon." Yo, salute to Jim. His, ability to act as if nothing is going on while the whole business is on fire is like really dope. Oh, let me figure out what to promo. No, let's figure out how to pay your bills. Okay? So I think Jim's strategy though is to kind of like piss 50 off, because again, 50, that's what I'm saying. 50 is still a mogul, bro. Like 50 is not like some, sometimes we forget him in the conversation of the former P. Diddy's and the Jay-Z's and the Dr. Dre's in terms of wealth and opulence. But 50 been doing his thing in film. 50's always been financially savvy. He's had many business ventures. 50's not a nigga that's playing with $10 million. He's not playing with 20. 50 is playing with hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Now, I don't think he's a billionaire, no disrespect, but he's playing with hundreds of millions of dollars. So to fuck off one or two or three just to get a point across and keep that image and aura of I'm 50, I annihilate everyone, I think he'll do it. We've seen him do it for much more. Like, he literally went, into bankruptcy when he did the thing with Rick Ross where he bought a video and commentated her getting fucked on an ashy leather couch by some nigga in some Timberland boots and some jeans, right? And he got sued for it. There was a $7 million judgment, and he didn't want to pay that. And then he, there was a Tyson mansion and something like that, and he kind of reconsolidated and reconsolidated. I'm sorry, and through bankruptcy, I think he's back up. Like, I definitely think 50 is back to 100+ million. We've seen G-Unit Studios, G-Unit Film, Shreveport. They made a $124 million commitment to do a entertainment complex that's going to be primarily a lot about movies and stuff like that. So 50 is showing that, and by the way, we haven't heard of somebody who's financially backing him. So we think that this is mostly 50 leveraging his own assets, or this is coming from Fifth, right? So again, like we're talking about Maino, like it's Maino, my nigga. Like, yo, Maino's never been successful in nothing. I don't even think he was a successful robber. He went to jail, right? Like, he's never been really successful in nothing. Fabulous, like, yo, Fab is only, like, but, like, do you think it's reason why Fab only shows up and barely says nothing and just, like, giggles here and there and, like, damn, or whatever he says? He's not, like, he doesn't need this to be his moneymaker, right? So it's really Jim and Chano. They need this to make some money for them. Like, they got nothing going on, right? Like, yeah, Jim is, like, freestyling left and right, but it's like, bro, is this shit really going anywhere? Like, remember when he was talking about all this shit, like, oh, Nas is irrelevant? Like, I think he dropped an album, like, 25 people bought it. Like, we don't know what happened, bro.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jackie Jovic.
And I'm Dan Jovic. Yesterday, a deal was reached. Today, we're getting a full understanding of LAD's $50 million backing of G-Unit Film and Television in Shreveport.
NBC6's Maya Alicia spoke with the head of Louisiana Economic Development to get specifics and joins us now with tonight's top story. Maya?
Jackie and Dan, G-Unit says they will be investing $124 million in the project. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has agreed to upgrade 2 sites, the former Millennium Studios and Stage Works, while agreeing to build a new dome venue. The state has strict guidelines he has to follow.
Reputationally, from a business perspective, his investment in Shreveport says an immense amount about his confidence in Shreveport.
Okay, so he's making a significant investment there, and congratulations to 50. I think that's incredibly dope. All right, perfect. Anything else? We're trying not to drag topics today, even though that was a really good first topic. I think we probably did drag that a little bit, right? Who's this? Okay, so he's also posting some of the Shreveport stuff in the middle of it. Yo, 50 is really smart, man. He posted this like 2 days ago. He said, "Good morning. Let your enemies become motivation. Make them watch your success till they snap. Then get the fuck out the way before they crash out." Is that the goal with like Jim Jones and them? Like, he's obviously, I think, 50's winning, right? He's absolutely winning. What's this? And he's winning. He's been posting about Shine recently, but that's getting that Diddy. Yo, the thing with 50, what I also like about him, he could beef with 10 people at the same time. Like, he's like multi-beefing. Like, most people like sink their teeth into one thing and that's it, right? Okay. He's beefing with Ja Rule here. He was beefing with, Diddy over there. He's beefing with T.I. And he's beefing with Maino. Yo, 50 really is like giving everybody the work. He gave T.I. the work. He gave Diddy the work. Shit. He's been giving, who else? Ja Rule and them the work. Even though I still think Ja came out pretty good in that situation, but 50 wasn't on the plane. So 50 just gets to like really have a good time. And now he's back giving, the 14-year citizens the work again. Like, this is 50 is 1v4 and like in Fortnite, like he's solo squatting. Like, real talk. Holy. All right. Let's go to Jim Jones' page to see if he has posted anything else. And then we'll kind of move on. We're going to check all their pages. What's this?
And the people want to know, who was that girl in the red?
Okay. Wait. I can't tell if they got the lights back on. I mean, we see lights, but I can't tell if they imported lights or the lights are back on. And then he posted this. Okay, so that's all that Jim posted. What about Maino? Yo, Maino, one of them niggas, he come in a crew, but he act like, yo, they ain't talking to me. I haven't seen Maino put his glasses down like this when addressing Fifth yet. Let's hear what he's saying.
Forgetting the value of a celebrity. Celebrities is not what they used to be.
Yo, Chano, you need to pawn these chains, man. I don't know if it's Mosinite or whatever, but pawn them, get the rent back on, get the rent back current, get the lights back on, brother. Like, kicking in doors is not the wave, man. Y'all niggas was arguing with me about fashion. I'm not kicking in doors to no place. I haven't been to my headquarters in like 2 months, but I'm not kicking in the doors there. When I walk up in there, they're saying, here's the guy who pays like multiple 6 figures. It's not that smart, by the way, but I write it off. Multiple 6 figures for a podcast spot and studio space. He just never comes to. Whatever, fuck it. You know what I mean? It's okay. Right? They're not saying, here's the guy who's kicking the door down, okay? So, Maino, cut this bedazzle bullshit out. And, my nigga, if you need to go be a panhandler on the subway system or whatever, y'all need to sell them Mosinite chain. Do whatever y'all got to do, man. The little caravan you was in. Get that sold too. Y'all got to pay that rent. Y'all got to pay that rent, brother. I don't care what you got going on. You got to pay this motherfucking rent. Okay, so he got nothing to say about that.
There's the front and then there's the back. Yeah. Are they in two?
Oh, see? That's the problem. Chano, he probably signed some deal with some company that's financing the podcast, and before using the money to pay the rent, right? It's probably a production deal. He's already at the doctor trying to buy veneers. Yo, Chano, you're 50, brother. It's dentures time. It's not veneers. It's dentures. It's dentures. Like, let's keep it a bean. You're 53. It's okay, my brother. There's no way you're 53 thinking about having $1 million smile. What are you trying to get, nigga? A fucking cougar? Like, it's okay, brother. It's okay. If you got crooked teeth like Fab, if you got whatever going on, it's okay. A little gap, a little discoloration. You could get whitening on products. It only costs like a couple $100. You trying to get like some celebrity veneers? No, motherfucker. The Shrek from the donkey from Shrek, veneers thing that they're charging y'all $40,000-$50,000 for is not in your budget. Y'all are getting evicted. I'm sorry to say. No veneers. Cancel the appointment. Matter of fact, I'm hitting up your doctor. No, he cannot afford it. He's not financing teeth. He needs to pay his rent. No. Mr. Smile Makeover, he's not doing it. We're going to get these guys financially back on track. They're not paying for fake teeth. They're going to pay their rent, okay? Enough is enough. Chano, enough is enough. Enough is fucking enough. You niggas can't pay rent. You're buying fake teeth. We're not doing it. Somebody got to get these guys back in order. 50's threatening to beat y'all up if y'all don't pay the rent. I just want to be your financial advisor. Let me be the brains. Y'all be the muscle and the crash out. No fake teeth, Chano. Your little chiclets in your mouth will do. You can eat all the chopped cheese with that. You don't need a full set of fucking porcelain veneers to do a fucking podcast. You're relating to YNs. Okay? This man owes $200K in rent. He's trying to cop a new smile. What? What? Yo, Fifth. Hey, knowing Fifth, I wouldn't even post this goddamn doctor. Fifth might pay the doctor to have your teeth engraved with G-Unit, nigga. That's how 50 is, bro. Yo, respectfully. Maino, Chano, do not do this. Don't do it. Don't do it, brother. Now, let me look at the other guys. Wait, so he hasn't... Yeah, this is that look when y'all trying to figure out money problems. You got it? Nah. You got it? Nah. Yo, you gonna put it on... You gonna put on this, like, 3.5 right here? I don't know weed talk. That's the thing. Let's just go smoke, yo. Fuck it. You got a bottle? Yeah. Yeah, this is the look right here when y'all niggas got money problems. That's what happens. This is the look right here when your banker stop answering the calls. This is the look right here when you get an eviction notice. Look, keep it a bean with y'all niggas, man. And don't get mad at me. I didn't know about this shit because I ain't got problems with y'all. 50 is telling the whole world that y'all can't pay y'all bills, you're insolvent. This is the fit of a couple niggas who need a job. This is when you call your baby moms. Yo, that tax refund ain't come in yet? Yo, what they say you were supposed to get, though? Yo, you ain't claim my... bruh, I'm fucked. Yo, send me some bread, bro. Like, yo, you claimed our kid is your dependent. Yo, bro, send me my bread before I really crash out. I don't give a fuck about you and your new nigga. Yo, send me some bread before I crash out, bro. Yo, you claimed the kid. I told you, it's my turn. It's my turn now to claim the kid. You claimed the kid. Yo, bro. Send me some bread. Yo, you know what? Yo, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna send you my Cash App. Yo, if that shit if I don't hear the time, word to my mother. All right, man. That's that conversation. That's that conversation right here. Wouldn't it be a fucking ironic story that the senior citizens spent their whole advance on clothing? They spent their whole advance on clothing, they forgot about the rent. I know the senior citizens, they're hilarious. And I know y'all love to talk shit, but I'm open with my shit. Spotify, I think I won't tell y'all the amount of money, but it was millions. So I get my pay because we opted, they brought me to like their little in-house, like, oh, this is our production company. Yo, first of all, I deal with rappers. Rappers love to smoke weed. They're late mad times. I remember when I interviewed Bobby Shmurda, I think it was 7 hours late, nigga. We just hung out there kicking it. A production company, they're billing by the hour. They don't want to deal with that. So I said, yo, give me my rate and give me the production budget. I'll get the place. I already had a studio. So I said, all right, cool. I'm going to just subsidize whatever. Here's the point. They gave a few million per year just for production, right? I moved most of my employees that I paid directly just from the Akademiks brand. I moved them on to that payroll. So y'all are now getting paid by Spotify. And then all my rent for all of, I'm teaching y'all business savvy things, and y'all niggas is 50, but I'll teach y'all. All the rent for my headquarters, I itemized it for 3 years, which was the length of the contract. if there was an option. And I marked all that off already as that's where Spotify is going to pay for. So technically, Spotify paid for my headquarters up until we got the deal in, was it 2021? So 2021 to 2024, they paid for it, even if the deal didn't last until then. But that's how we treated it in terms of how we, whatever. Hey, I'm just giving these old ass niggas a little bit of tip. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm teaching them some business. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a reason why, like, it don't matter if I go to my spot. Y'all niggas is copping too much denim tears, too much chrome hearts. Y'all are 50. Cop some prune juice and call it a day. Okay? The first thing when y'all get a production budget, how the fuck are y'all constructing something in a place you don't own if the bills for the place don't exist? Let me say this. I've put some work into a studio, like the main off-the-record studio. I want to tell you how much price was. They overcharged me for it. I spent a pretty penny on it. Let's say I get evicted now from the studio, and I don't own it, I'll be honest. But I rent, and I'm never late on rent. Comes out of a bank account. Like, how could you be late? Anyway, that means if they commandeer the space, at some point they would destroy or gut that studio. That studio cost me, like the main off the record thing, when I first built it, was over $100,000. So it's not smart to build in a place that you can't pay the rent. So when you're thinking about itemizing things when it comes to a podcast, and I'm not talking to these guys, like they look like, they're too gangster to really, care about like, numbers. Let me just say it for the rest of the people here. Your first bill should be, we're paying for the place that we're filming in. That's the number one thing. Now, remember, you have talent budget and then you have production budget. Okay? So talent budget is going to be, hey, he needs this amount to do an episode. That's his talent fee. Then you have production fee. How much does it cost to build it or no, to make it? Now, some people might hire a production company. Now, the production company, whatever they get hired for, they're going to put in a fee for where they're going to shoot at, this and third. But most people these days, they love being independent. I love podcasting because I'm independent with everything. Okay? Everything comes through me. I'm the bank. So the first order of business, and I've said this even to my employees, I'd rather fire y'all than actually, not be able to pay my rent. It's a non-negotiable cost. It's a non-negotiable cost for me to pay for the place that I could do things at. Because if I hire you and there's not a place for us to do shit, what's the point? So that's the first cost. The first order of business is, where are we filming? Rent needs to be paid. It's the first order of a production budget. Whether you're renting, whether it's money that you're going to, maybe it's a different location or y'all got to travel and it's going to be a spot location. Hey, we're going to Airbnb this house and we're going to do a cooking show here. That is non-negotiable. If you don't have a place, you can't work. Second of all, it's going to be equipment. Are you going to lease it every time? Will you own it? If you lease it, you don't have to worry about maintenance. And third, if you own it, equipment goes bad, equipment breaks, equipment malfunctions, equipment gets old, whatever, you have to deal with that. So you first go where the place is. Way how I look at it, and by the way, I'm just giving business advice for free at this point. Way how I look at it is that you'll save more by owning it. Adam paid $5 million for his warehouse. Smart. Number one is real estate. So he's going to own it by the time he's done paying the mortgage. But he doesn't have to, you save time and resources and even, employment costs in having people having to move to location or, worrying about, other people use the space, so I got to put this stuff away or take it out. It's just yours. You could leave it there. So you first think about the place. You then think about the equipment. We know what type of business we're in. Security should also be in it, right? Is it secure? Do you need if you're going to put a couple $100,000 into building something, you don't want to just leave it there. Like, I'm always surprised when I hear these producers say, yeah, they broke into our shit and robbed all of our equipment. Why the fuck would you just get a place with $500,000 of equipment and just leave it there. And then go on Instagram Live every time you're there saying, hey, I'm using the $500,000 of equipment. And then you leave and don't come back for like 3 weekends and then be like, oh, y'all broke in? So you need a little bit of security, whether it's a doorman, whether it's, just people kind of watching out, maybe in a building where there's other, whatever it is. Okay. You need a budget for shit breaking. One of our computers at my studio broke. Okay. Actually, the computer's here. I used to work on computers. So I said, yo, I built my studio. Like, I build everything by hand, or I could. I don't have the amount of time. So I said, now that it's a money thing, they were going to bring it to some place. I said, no, bring it here. I worked on computers for a living before. Let me see if I could figure it out, because also I like my equipment and everything a certain way. So you got to have some money for some maintenance, whatever. Lights might go bad. This stopped working, whatever the case is. I'm just thinking production budget-wise, right? Okay. You need computers. You need cameras, memory cards, mics. You need hard drives. You need obvious internet networking. You might need some, cloud storage. All that's going to still fall under production. It's all about how you make the content. Make sure bandwidth's up to speed. If you're going to be streaming, make sure this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Hey, do you need to have faxes, printers, whatever? Like, you got to make sure all that's happening. Then you even get into, okay, this is still part of production now. See, talent fee is easy. How much do you need? Well, I'm the only talent when I'm doing my shit. So I don't have to think about talent budget, because anything that don't get spent on production, it's mine. Right? I'm not paying 30 niggas to sit on the couch. It's not happening. So after that, once we've done that part of production, that's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. You can't have a building without equipment. You can't have an equipment that's unsafe. You can't have equipment that you can't repair. You can't have equipment that you don't upgrade. Those are non-negotiable. Then you have these other things. Okay, so say, I don't know, back in the day, Finesse 2 times, before me and him got cool, he was like, hey, I'll do an interview with y'all, but I want y'all to pay for my flight. Maybe you have that's part of the production budget. Hey, we could fly people in. We could get them a hotel. We could do this. Oh, yeah, I flew Brittany Renner in. I flew Brittany Renner in, had her with the hotel. Yeah, I had her with a hotel. Who else that flying? That's production. That goes under production budget. That's not mandatory. Because hopefully you're doing a podcast, you might not need guests. Or you might tell a person, hey, listen, we just don't have budget to fly you in. We'll give you free promo, we just can't fly you in. Right? So those are optional. But, I'm just going over this to show you that a grown-ass bunch of men who could throw up every gang sign in history and they talk about all this dumb shit we don't care about. They're 55 years old, acting like they're like 13. They don't know the very basics of what this industry should be built on. If you're going to have a fucking podcast, the 2 main things that needs to be paid, actually, if it's a startup podcast, fuck y'all budget in terms of paying hosts, but maybe they're not doing that well financially. I know Fab should be. The first thing you need to do is pay the spot you're in. When someone signs an artist, the majority of the fees that they or the money that they end up wanting to recoup later is studio costs, and if it's an artist that came from the hood, living costs. Hey, we're gonna have you in this Airbnb or whatever. That's a lot of where the costs get racked up from. Places to stay. It's non-negotiable. You can't have someone homeless doing a podcast or making music. Non-negotiable. Like, these niggas is posting fits like it's going out the wazoo, throwing up signs like, yo, brother, stop wasting money on Just for Men. Just pay your bills. Cut it out. Pay your bills. Like, pay your bills. Like, no more black trucks, man. Get in the Honda Civic like J. Cole. Pay your bills. That's it. All right. I think I'm done with the senior citizens, okay? This guy getting facials, all type of stuff. No, pay your bills. This guy's at the spa. He's getting teeth. No, pay your rent. What are you doing? This guy's everywhere but the goddamn post office mailing a check. He's at the Cartier store buying glasses. He's getting new fake teeth. He's getting like this fucking facial here. We don't know what this is, but he won't pay the rent. Jesus Christ. Angela Yee, could you lend these niggas some money? I know you got to be doing good, right? You were on the Breakfast Club for a long time. Okay. All right. I think I'm done giving BTA. But I don't think I went the craziest. 50 went crazy, bro. And also, here's the thing. I see y'all in new fits because I don't know if maybe, I kind of told them about the YN dressing. Now I see they got the Givenchy. Okay. Color matching. Okay. Hey, that's part of production budget as well, if you don't know. Production budget, let me tell you, when I worked at Everyday Struggle, you know what they didn't do? Let me just give these nimwits a little bit. They didn't say, instead of paying the rent for the building we're going to record in, let's give Akademiks $1 million in clothing budget. No. These are lesser priorities. Having a barber on standby. Having a barber there at the fucking production, set. Having makeup. Having a stylist. Complex used to tell us, nigga, just wear some shit. Really? But in higher production, you want a stylist, you want a barber, you want all these people. But that's all after you've paid your fucking rent. If you can't pay your rent, you shouldn't have a stylist with the goofy red glasses. You shouldn't be looking for fake teeth. You shouldn't. This is where the podcast should go down from now on. All four of y'all in here.
Yo, look.
It is the Senior Citizen, the Hove Lane podcast. Yo, Davies, you good in the back? Yo, my bad we got you sitting on the... my bad I got you sitting on the child seat back there. It's just that, my baby mama, she be using the car sometimes. My bad, bro. You good? I know you 6'10". My bad, bro. Yo, Jim, you straight, gang? Yo, Jim, why you hanging out the window like you Pac? Yo, come on, let's focus. Yo, Fab, chill, man. Come on. Yo, you on your street fam shit, Fab? Yo, we don't got 4 mics no more. We got 1 mic. That's it. It's 1 mic like Nas. At that point, Jim gonna be mad. Nigga, what you talking about Nas, nigga? I made Nas relevant. Oh, yeah, my bad, Jim. You made Nas relevant. Yeah. Nas is approaching being a billionaire. You can't pay your rent, but you made him relevant.
Spending barbecue on is called 12 a.m. Run.
Nas, Hennessy, Nas, face of casinos, casino bids. Nas, all smart shit, great investment, one of the best rappers ever. You look at it, it says, Nas, I want to make sure y'all can see it. This is why hip-hop is a joke. Y'all told my Senior Citizen, I guarantee all them niggas, they don't teach people a motherfucking thing more than I do. Look, $250 million empire. Nasir Jones. Jim Jones. Kicking indoors, and Jim Jones says this.
I thought Jim was talking about as far as right now in the clubs and everything is out here.
Hold on. Let's get to it. Where is that? No. I gotta find the right clip.
You made a comparison with you and Nas, man. Why out of everybody you pick Nas, bro?
I didn't do it.
What happened was these dudes out of Atlanta direct.
Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta find that podcast. Where is that? That podcast must not be irrelevant. I can't find it. Nah, let me find it on Twitter. I'll find it on Twitter. But just remember, Nas, $250 million empire. Okay? Jim Jones kicking indoors.
To me that are also not around anymore. Been gone. Diamond, 5-time platinum, 4-time platinum, gold artist. I've seen it since 1997. Gone. I'm still here. From whatever you painted the picture to me to being a hype man, or he wasn't the best rapper, or he just started. You did. The last time he was in some shit like this where people were comparing.
Look.
Like he's never been that viral at
Look.
people in pink. You still got to listen to me talking to you right now in 2025.
Yeah, listen.
What I did for Nas probably never been done for him in his life. He's never been that viral at all, ever.
Jim Jones is 50 years old saying he values virality over paying rent and over Nas' $250 million empire. I see why their target audience is YNs. Jim Jones can't pay rent. Mule kicking indoors. Nas up lovely, approaching, trying to be a billionaire. Jim Jones says he did more for Nas than anybody. Do you see why the Senior Citizen podcast is not doing that well?
Whatever you want a narrative you want to paint, you still got to listen to me talking to you right now in 2025.
This is like a girl saying, you know when people value clout and virality over money, wealth, and business maneuvers, you're like, okay, you're new to the game or you're young-minded. The only problem is Jim Jones is full of gray hairs. Chano doesn't grow the hair out because he's full of gray hairs too. They're collectively a century years old. Put Jim and Maino's age together, they're 105. They're 105. Them niggas was alive when Martin Luther King did the I have a dream that one day Nas will thank Jim Jones for making him relevant. What? That's what I'm talking about.
What I did for Nas probably never been done for him in his life. He's never been that viral at all, ever.
We'll end it there. I'm going to send my best wishes to the Senior Citizen podcast, and I still have a place you guys can record for free. Okay? I just need a sincere apology. And I don't like the fact that 50's bullying y'all. That's not cool. I don't like that. Let's move on, chat.